NAMM people, it's the 2019 NAMM show in Los Angeles. It is day 4, and this could be the final video of this year's NAMM show, and I've chosen to do it with these two lovely people here.
A true honor, thankfully.
So you can breathe a sigh of relief, and once you watch this one, you can go back to just running your normal daily lives without just watching 24 hours a day's worth of Andertons NAMM coverage. Anyway, Tom and Mark from Atomic and Studio Devil. You guys have seen us use these products and these products loads and loads of times in our videos. So I thought I'd ask, before we get on to the very new piece of hardware, let's just catch up with some of the software updates that have happened on both Amplifier and Amplifier Box over the last couple of months.
Sure. So we've been really busy, Atomic and Studio Devil, getting not only a new product out, but also doing a couple of firmware updates the last couple of months. So we added amp models, we've improved the amp modeling engine, and we have also added a bass model to this set of stuff. So we've had a lot of good activity, and the customers have been really excited about the new SVT bass amp we added, new Archon bass model, or the Archon
guitar model.
Yep. We have the 65 Twin,
cool.
Which is we got a really great model of a specimen to work with of a real vintage Twin. It's really nailed that. And
so are those updates exclusive to Amplifier 6 and 12, or is that across the whole range?
It's actually across the whole range as far as the amp modeling is concerned. So
cool.
All the amps transfer from all the pedals.
That's cool. But so some of the recent effects side of things are obviously exclusive to Amplifier 6 and 12, yeah?
That's right. Well, the biggest thing we did probably in the effects line, we added pitch.
Yeah.
And so that's intelligent harmony, that's octave, that's intervals, whammy mode. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I know we sold bucket loads of these because it was such a simple and easy solution for people to use. But this was just for guitar players, right?
That's right.
So,
well, actually, not anymore, because now there is a bass model in there. But more importantly, this is for bass players specifically.
Okay.
And
so how is that different then to the regular Firebox?
Yeah, so I'll talk about that just a little bit. So I've been beginning to be a bit noodling into bass myself, so I'm trying to wrap my head around how a bass player thinks. And I think what we've done here is we've kind of made a pedal that's really designed for a bass player. It's a little different from a modeler, but it still has modeling in it.
Yep.
So what I've chosen to do for this design is to take some really seminal, beautiful, legendary EQs and compressors that bassists kind of gravitate towards and put them in here so that you have the right dynamics control, the right equalization, that otherwise you would spend thousands of dollars in order to have access to, digitally model them and put them inside. But before you say that there's no amp modeling in here, there is. So let me just walk you a little through the product a bit.
Yeah.
So it starts with the dynamics controller, that's compression or limiting, and it has a mode switch so you can choose from 3 different models. We have something like a compressor like a DBX 160A.
Yep.
We have something like a Cali 76 pedal. We have something a little bit like a limiter. You then have gain control, like for boost or distortion. That's controlled with this knob, and you can selectively turn it on and off with this dedicated boost button. So if you don't like drive or you need to control it, you do that from here. It too has 3 modes. You'll find this theme of having 3 choices for everything repeating itself. That's this switch here. So if you like an overdrive, similar to like a screamer or something like that, if you like something that's more like a dark class or a FET bass, that's on the bottom. And if you like my patented vacuum tube modeling from Virtual Bass Amp, which is my successful plugin, we have a tube model that models a 12AX7 preamp. That's a really nice one. I'm trying to move this forward, but the EQ is really juicy because you have 3 modes again, a 4-band mode, a 3-band mode, and a 2-band mode. I'm going to quickly describe those. In 4-band, this acts like an API 550, which is a really great studio EQ, really nice. In 3-band mode, it's more like my Virtual Bass Amp with a sweepable mids. You have lows, highs, but these 2 knobs become a sweepable mids. And lastly, if you really like the BBE or the Sonic Maximizer, this last mode simulates that but with additional control. To cap it all off, before you say, whoa, this sounds like a bunch of bass pedals without any cool amp modeling, there is amp modeling. But the way we do it is we give you 3 slots, A, B, and C, and a level control for that. And in the software editor, which is still being worked on, this isn't exactly the software editor for this, but in the software editor, you will be able to choose which impulse response, which you can customize and download, or which amp model that slot is. And one of the choices is none. So if you like the DI
Totally
sound,
clean. Yeah, okay.
you can do that. Lastly, let's talk about some of the inputs and outputs. This is the very last part. We have an input like normal, but a direct out, so you can go in and direct out to your amp on stage, and this is a real hardware direct. There's no buffering, there's nothing. It's just a Y cable, which is great to go unaffected. You have a 1/4" out, XLR out. On the back, we have a headphone, which is new for this class of pedal for us. We have an auxiliary input so you can play along, USB for the editor, and in the editor, you will be able to choose, if I can just see the outputs again, you will be able to choose what part of that signal path comes out of the XLR or the 1/4. So if you experience soundmen or sound people that would like to have an unaffected output or an output that's only preamp but doesn't have other stuff on it, you can choose that to be on the XLR while still having the full processing on the 1/4. Sorry if that was long-winded, folks, but that's
a lot there.
That's a lot there, right?
You know, Lee, I just want to say in summation, I can't tell you how many times we've heard from our customers, hey, we're bass players, we really want something for bass.
Well, this is probably the concept of a bass player just having a DI, like a preamp DI, and going into the desk or into the PA. They're way more comfortable doing that than guitar players are.
That's right.
So I can see this product just becoming much more instantly accepted, whereas this one, you know, you've got to try and teach people that it's okay not to have a guitar amplifier, you can just have a pedal.
Exactly.
The bass players just be like,
yeah, and I also want to
obvious.
add that this one is so interactive with the additional switches so that you can get a lot out of this without connecting. I want to say one thing, which is that we're celebrating a 10-year anniversary of the release of my virtual bass amp plugin. That was in like 2009. And so I can tell you, I probably can't tell you, how many people have asked me over those 10 years, when are you going to put this into something that's not on a computer that I can bring with me? This isn't exactly that. That is this plus a whole lot more, but we finally 10 years later did it.
That's great, man. And when do you think roughly, because you're saying this one's not quite ready for a demo, so we'll demo them when we get back to the UK, but when do you think that'll be?
Yeah, I mean, really they are pretty much ready, but they're in production. We're doing the final tweaks on the software, and we expect it to have them ready probably in late April, early May.
Fantastic. Well, that's cool. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Lee.
Thank you for watching, not just this video, but the whole blooming thing. Los Angeles 2019. I am out of here.